This podcast is brought to you by Hoare Chartered Accountants. Hoare Chartered Accountants are based in Galway City and are a leading provider of audit, accountancy and taxation services. For more information, visit hoarecharteredaccountants.ie. Continuing our build-up to the Senior Football Championship, and I'm joined by Dunmore MacHales manager Denis Fallon. First off, Dennis, how are preparations going ahead of the championship?
They're going well, Paul. Now I have to say, with two challenges under our belt, and it's playing well. We had a nice run in the league, so all that has been part of the preparations, and just counting down the clock now till first round starts. Really looking forward to it.
Obviously, you mentioned the league there. It was quite good for you. Obviously, you came out on top in that Division 3A league final, and you obviously got a lot out of the league this year.
Yeah, we had a good league. It's been our number one target really for this year was to get promotion from the league. So, we came back in early January. All the training was focused into winning the semi-final, getting to the semi-final first and winning it. That meant promotion to Division 2. Yourselves and St. James were the only two senior teams in that division. So, really, we wanted to be playing at a higher standard in the league. We prepared ourselves for a championship, and it sounds bad at the beginning of this year we were saying preparing for next year we need to be in Division 2. But it was a genuine target of ours to get promotion, and thankfully we did. And we just used the league then as well to introduce new players into the group, and obviously trying to get used to the new rules. So we finished out the league on top, and we won the semi-final, which was great, which meant promotion, and then winning the league final was just great. It was a nice experience for the new lads, and the final experience, you can't beat it. And we had a nice win over James in the end, and there's still a win on the table halfway through the league, or halfway through the season, isn't that nice?
As a manager, Dennis, we're very happy coming away with that league final. Obviously, kicking 121 was a big standout from everyone, even people who couldn't get to the game, but seeing that result, it did, I suppose, catch a lot of attention.
Yeah, no, I suppose we have a nice blend of forwards in our team, our attacking players. And of course, you see yourself in the new rules, it kind of lends itself to high scoring games. And so a combination of all that, we have to be realistic too. St. James's didn't play any of their countrymen on the day, and we were virtually at full strength. Bar Conor Gleeson, so that was a big advantage to us on the day. And like I said, we had prepped ourselves for the league, so we were probably in peak condition for the semi-final, and that spilled on into the league final. And yeah, we had a good day that day. Everything just seemed to click, and it was a nice score to put up, but again, it's reflective of the new rules and a lot of scores that have been put up this year in matches.
For yourself, Dennis, how have you found taking over the reins this year from Gary Delaney? Same old, really. This is my 9th year with the team. I was manager before Gary came in. We brought in Gary. He stepped up to manager, and I've learned a lot of Gary and learned a lot of other guys over the years. Alan Glynn has come in now, which is a big help as well. So you're just learning all the time off these guys and trying to implement what you've learned in the past and what you're learning nowadays. So I think the guys are happy with me, happy with the setup that we have at the moment. So yeah, just delighted with the progress we're making. You mentioned there bringing in Alan Glynn. Obviously, his coach would have guided the Galway Miners a couple of years to go to that All-Ireland title. How much of an addition has he been to the club this year?
He's been a fantastic addition. He's a really nice guy. When I met first, it wasn't about what he wanted to bring in his ideas. He was just so interested in what we have been doing the last 3, 4, 5 years. And he didn't want to reinvent the wheel. He just wanted to continue what we were at and then introduce his ideas gradually. And I suppose with the new rules being introduced as well this year, there was a lot of work for him. He could blend in what
He knows along with what we knew, and yeah, it has been a nice little good transition, him coming in.
Player turnover wise, Dennis, obviously the most high profile player you've probably lost is Danny Ford, obviously gone to Australia. But outside of that, have you been able to keep hold of most players from last year?
Yeah, Danny's gone to Australia for the year. Mark and Cleary retired, and Joe Burke, who would have been big parts of the team as well. And fair play to them, they've come on board in the management side of it. So they're lending that experience to the team as well. So with them guys gone, a few lads have obviously come up from the under-19s, and we are still a fairly young team that are building all the time. So we've a good crew of lads coming through there all the time. So even though we've lost Martin, Joe, Danny, there's good guys that have come in that have experienced the under-19s last year, winning the North Board and getting to the county final in that side of it. So they're bringing that bit of experience with them.
How much of a positive then for yourself and I suppose the management team has it been to get, I suppose, Colm Costello and Conor Gleeson back in among the group over the last few weeks?
Yeah, it's been very helpful. I think it's great. The guys are involved in the county and they're training at the highest level. But they're always in touch with us. Like they'll turn up to training whenever they can just to see what's happening.
So they are very focused in on the team, and it was an easy enough transition back for them because they have a serious interest in what we're at, and like the learnings that they're getting in with the county, they're bringing that in to the club team as well, and they're always in touch with us. So it's nice to have them back now, and they're ready to go for championship, both of them.
Does it really feel like you're starting to build something? Even last year, you pushed Salthill really close in that quarter-final, and you have really showed that you're able to survive and establish yourself as a senior club. Is it about taking it to the next level now, do you feel?
I suppose it is. Like this is my 9th year involved, and
it's been kind of improvement all the way. We did start from a fairly low base, and then eventually we won the intermediate, and going on then and winning the intermediate in Connacht was a really big help. And this is our 3rd campaign now in senior, and I suppose we still are
the least experienced team in it if you look at all the teams involved.
Even though Michaels are after coming up this year, they would have had 10 years senior before that. One of the same, they were up and down. So like of all the groups, I suppose
our players have played the least amount of senior teams, so we're still learning all the time.
But we're improving every year. I suppose that's kind of what we're looking for again this year, is another bit of improvement. We got to the
quarterfinals last year. We did kind of fade away a bit in the game and disappointed in the end. But we'd love to be back at that stage again and put in a better performance in the quarterfinals and hopefully progress to the semi-finals.
In the group phases, we've struggled the first 2 campaigns, going into the last game looking for a result to stay out of the relegation. That's all. I think really what we're looking for this year is to get a good league campaign in the group stages. So it's going into the final game that we're in a position maybe we're top in the group, but
definitely not looking at the relegation side of it. So I think that's our goal this year
in the championship, is to get a better
start in
the group stage that we can build on, hopefully as we progress through the championship.
For a lot of supporters and people following the club championship, they're going to love following this group between yourselves, Annaghdown, Claregalway and Tuam Stars. It's already sort of being pointed out as this group of death.
It's a group of death, yeah. When the draw was made, I'm speaking for all the teams, every one of them will feel that they can beat each team in it.
Like there's no easy game in it. I think it's an even enough group. Obviously, we'll all be looking at Tuam. They're the Division 1 champions this year, so obviously they're going very well. Annaghdown, ourselves, and Claregalway. We'll definitely look at each game, and like Clare and Annaghdown were saying, right, they could be targeting the more game, and we'd be in the same position. So it's a good even group. There'll be competitive games in it, and we're just hoping that we get enough points, like, to get ourselves out of the group and into the preliminary quarterfinals or even a quarterfinal.
What do you feel is the aim for Dunmore then this year, Dennis?
Like I said, it's just my philosophy on football is always kind of improvement.
Whether it's every training session, every game, every year. So we want to obviously improve our displays in the group stage, get out of that, get to a quarter final. And as I said, last year we did put it up to Salt Hill, but we kind of faded away in that game. So the target is to put in a better performance in a quarter final and get to a semi-final, and you just don't know what will happen after that, you know. There's no point in really looking any further than that. It's the group stages really are critical at the moment, and I suppose we're just not going to look past the Annaghdown game first and see where we go from there.
Just finally, Dennis, do you feel even as a manager you're sort of going into the unknown, even looking at the game Friday, just with the new rules? Because I suppose we've seen them all at club level, but it is going to be a different kettle of fish now when it comes to championship.
Oh, for sure, definitely.
And we see, you know, you're learning all the time to the league. One of the standout things in the league is
you could be 8 points up in a
game, 9 points up in a game, and we've seen that even at inter-county level.
And within 10 or 15 minutes, that lead is
wiped out, you know, with the 2 pointers and everything like that. So that's going to be a big burden in a game.
And then just how the new rules are implemented. A lot of the games we've played in the league, you'd have one official, maybe with a few umpires, but there's more officials now looking at the games. So, like, the breach is a big thing. That can go is huge. Like, it's kind of a thing that we like to use, the solo and go. So, like, yeah, the new rules will be very interesting when it comes to championship.
Great stuff, Dennis. Thanks very much for that, and best of luck in the championship.
Thanks, Pat.
Now we're continuing our build up to the Senior Football Championship, and I'm joined by Annaghdown Senior Football Captain Owen Reddington to look ahead to Annaghdown's championship campaign. Owen, how are preparations going ahead of the championship?
Good now, yeah. Thanks for having me, Paul. Yeah, we've a couple of challenge games and stuff now, building back up to it, but yeah, we're looking well.
Just looking at the Annaghdown squad this year overall, have you been able to keep hold of most of the players from last year?
Yeah, we have most of the lads now. I think Lee Murphy we lost, he's gone over to London. But from like a few years ago we lost a good few, but now we have most of the lads now from last year, yeah.
Just looking at your league campaign, obviously came up short in that Division 2 league semi-final against Leicester. How do you feel the league went for you overall?
Yeah, it was a bit of a disappointment kind of overall because we were aiming to, get promotion. That was our aim at the start, but we had 2 tough games against Leicester at the end, and like we did have a lot of second year lads and lads that didn't have a lot of championship experience. So I think those 2 games were probably as close you get to championship kind of atmosphere and all that. So no, they were good for development, but overall it was a bit disappointing.
Obviously, Norman O'Brien over to you again this year, second year in charge. What's he bringing to the club?
Oh, he's very enjoyable now. Like him and staff have come in, and you can't knock them. They're mad about the football and they're fully committed. Like so, yeah. And I've been helpful now with all the young lads and bring us all on. They're over the under-19s and the juniors and all that. Like so, they've really kicked us on a lot. I think.
You mentioned their young lads. Obviously, last year was it probably a rebuilding year in one sense for you with the players you lost the year previously?
Yeah, I think a bit like this. Obviously, everyone knows championship you can't really like till you get in there in Tuam or in Fair Stadium, you don't really know what it's like. So a lot of lads, it was their first go at it, so he wasn't expecting too much out of them, but that was a great experience for this year. And like we do have a young enough team, but then we have a few experienced lads as well. So I'm kind of stuck in the middle a bit, but like the young lads really have brought us on, and they've kind of given an extra life to a lot of the older lads, kind of making them hang on for another few years as well. But it is exciting when you have young lads pushing you and all that. So yeah.
For yourself, obviously, captain this year, is that a different dynamic?
Yeah, small, but I wasn't really expecting it, to be fair, when Norman rang me. But sure, it's a great honour. And like, you might be captain, but there's a lot of leaders in that group. Like I might be captain of the team sheet, but we've the likes of Healy in goal, and then you Frankie and Damo obviously, and then Enda Malek. You know, through the team there is just leaders everywhere. So like, I might say I'm the captain of the team sheet, but there is other lads definitely helping me kind of lead the team and bringing them lads through, and like there's a lot of experience there to lean on.
Just looking at your group on this year, Annaghdown obviously drawn in a group with Claregalway, Tuam Stars, and Dunmore MacHales. What are you expecting in that group?
Yeah, it's a tough group, exciting. Like there's a few rivalry matches and stuff like that. So like Dunmore, we haven't really played them a lot in senior, so like we wouldn't know each other that well. But only underage, really, I played them a lot. But it's exciting. They're obviously a young team coming through themselves, so we'll have a good battle against them, and then move on to the other two games. We owe Tuam a match from last year. They obviously knocked us out, and Claregalway is a local derby too. Like so, they'll be all tough games, and looking forward to them though.
What do you feel are the championship ambitions for Annaghdown this year?
Like every team, like you want to go and win it, but we're like, I'm not naive to thinking there is a few teams at the top that would be like, there's a couple of teams there that'd be levels ahead of most of the teams in the group. But once we kind of hopefully get out of the group, and then it's game by game, like, and I reckon on the day we can beat anyone. So I've seen us when we're on song, we're hard to stop.
You mentioned there about some of the older experienced players, particularly the likes of Damo and Frankie. What are they still bringing for the club to still be delivering performances, do you feel?
Well, like if you're there watching it, you can see it there as you're watching the games, but it's more like just showing a lot of the younger lads. Like you have Stephen Curley there, be kind of following Frankie and like stuff like that. It'd be easier to follow along when you see the lad putting it in front of you. Like so, I know they might say they're past the hill a bit. But they're definitely not. When you watch some of the game, they end up getting most of their scores. Frankie, like he's a class operator. Like.
Oh, and you're obviously playing around the middle this year for Annaghdown, and you played there last year, obviously. I presume you're enjoying the new rules area.
Yeah, I am definitely. Yeah, I didn't play for a few years there, and when I was abroad, but when I came back, it definitely gave me another drive to go back playing. And it's a lot more running around the middle eight than there already was a lot, but it's even a bit more. But no, it's definitely more enjoyable. Like it's kind of a lot more kick passing, and the 2 point arc is class. Like it's a different scale that's brought into the game. Like so, usually you'd be getting given out to for trying these big long shots, but now it's kind of worth the chance. Like so, just different skills, and it's definitely a lot more enjoyable to play.
Do you feel it's brought the enjoyment back for players this year?
Definitely, anyways, like for me, for sure. Like it's the fun parts of football. I find like a lot of the tactics and the overthinking a lot of stuff it can happen a bit there. For a few years, it was awful defensive and stuff. It's hard to watch even as a fan. Like you wouldn't even be hard to turn on the telly. But now I'd be watching more football than I ever did and playing it like it's the kicks inside and forwards going 1-on-1 against backs, and it helps defenders too. I find like it gets shows off their skill in 1-on-1 defending too. So it's a great thing, I think.
Just finally, then on the structure, of the split season and everything, as a club player, what you are at the minute, how do you feel that's working as a club player?
Like it is long enough season, but I don't know really what you could do. Like there's no other way they're trying to organize it. I know and change it, but I'm not really sure what else you could do. There's league there, but I don't know how many league games he played, and then obviously all the intercounty lads are in there. So I'm not really sure what you could do with it, but yeah, it is a long year.
Great stuff, Owen. Thanks a million for that, and best of luck in the championship.
Cheers, thanks, Paul.
We're continuing our build up to the Senior Football Championship, and I'm joined by Tuam Stars manager Dave Donland to look ahead to their side's campaign. First off, Dave, how are preparations going ahead of the championship?
Yeah, all good, Paul. It's really kicking into gear now. We're only around the corner, so The small gap between league and championship for us, it comes upon you very quickly without realising. So, full on, all systems go really here from now. So, getting ready for August 2nd, 3rd.
Just with that, obviously, quite a long build up in the club season for this championship. But to be around the corner now, I presume management and players just nearly itching to get going at this stage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the league is a great competition. I think I'd be a big fan of it. You have games every 2 weeks. You know when they are, and it's the perfect gap. Really, it's well set up, and it's a far cry from when I was playing. Anyways, when you could have no game for several months and then 2 or 3 in November or December. But at the end of the day, it's all about the championship. Like, so, yeah, lads would be mad keen at this stage now to get started on it.
Just with that, obviously, you had the league there, you won the Division 1 league title. People might play down the league, but just given the heartbreak you experienced against Kerfin in previous years, do you think it was important for the group to get over the line in the league final?
It was, yeah. It's definitely better to come out the right side of it than the previous 2 years anyway. But I mean, both teams were missing several players in the final, so you're probably looking at half championship teams really on both sides. But definitely good to come out the right side of it. I mean, Tuam have won surprisingly few leagues really when you consider probably always thereabouts. Won it in 2019, and before that it was 1980, I think. Like, so it's they don't come around too often. So yeah, it's definitely good to get there.
Just then, Dave, the turnover in the Tuam Stars squad, have you been able to pretty much keep hold of everyone from last year?
For the most part, yeah, we've a few fellas injured that we've been missing all year. Like Mark Connor did his ACL before championship last year. Still hasn't played all year. Seamus Lynch, he was injured with Galway, hasn't played a game yet. Max O'Connell had shoulder surgery, hasn't played at all yet. And then we had Cormac McWalter in Australia, Killian Reedy, and Rory O'Connor in America. So missing several bodies for so far in the year, all right, but we should have most of them back at some point, hopefully.
Where do you feel the air heading into this championship?
It's very hard to know. I mean, obviously we went well in the league, but we know it's a huge step up to the first round. Our group is very tough. I mean, Clare Galway first up have had our number the last couple of years, and Dunmore flying, won their league, Annaghdown nearly always in the latter stages as well. So it's going to be very difficult, and really, the nature of the first round, you don't really know where exactly you're at until after that. You can think you're going well, you can think you're doing everything right, but you can get a land then quite easily, as happened to us last year. We thought we were going well, and Clare Galway beat us still won. Like, so you just don't know. It's hard, very difficult to say. We'd be happy with how it's going, but the real test will be August 2nd or August 3rd, whenever that fixture is.
How do you prepare yourselves for that group of death?
We don't really treat it any differently to any other game, I suppose. If you try and approach every game the same, you have to be right on it from the get-go there, because there's very little margin for error. If you turn up not on it, don't work hard enough, any of those games, you're going to get turned over. And it's probably the same for everybody else in that group. Likewise, anyone could beat anyone there, and anyone could lose to anyone on a given day. So really, you just have to try and focus on getting the performance on the day, and if you do that, you hope that's enough. But again, that's probably no difference to the preparation that we have for any other game, regardless of who we're playing,
What do you feel are the championship ambitions for Tuam Stars this year?
for us, it's all about the first day. It's as simple as that. I said, Clare Galway have beaten us the last 2 years. It's a reasonable build-up time-wise into that game. So we know we've got to be right on it for that game to have a chance of winning it. That's what we're going to try and do. And then once that's over, we'll try and win the next one as well, whoever that is. So full focus on the first day, really. And we'll see where it takes us after that.
Just with that as well, Dave, bit different this year, obviously, with the new rules coming in. As a manager, how have you found the new rules being implemented into club football this year?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say overall it's been hugely positive. I think the players are enjoying it. That's the main thing for me, and they've adapted very well. The reaction from the general public seems to be almost universally positive, which is great. For me personally, it's and for any manager, it's obviously a challenge. I mean, you have to try and adapt as quickly as possible to get on top of them, which I'd like to think we did. There are a few that I like, a few that I don't like so much. I think the solo and go is a great innovation, and one that I never would have thought of. That's really good. The no back pass to the keeper has improved the game no end as well, I think. Not really a fan of the advanced mark. I think there aren't many of them anyway, but it's too much of an advantage for me. You get your chance at a goal or a score, and then if you miss it, you get another chance. I don't really see how that's fair on any defender, but on the whole, I think the game is definitely better to watch. It's a completely different spectacle to what it's been the last couple of years, and I'm not sure about what the numbers are in the crowds for intercounty, but it feels like a lot more people are enjoying the game. Certainly, I don't know if the attendances were up or not, but certainly a lot more positivity around the game in general, which is great, you know. And I think as regards implementation into club, it's been almost seamless, really, or close to it. I think the refs have done a great job adapting to it as well, to be fair. We had Christopher Ryan in the league final. He combined very well with Austin on the line. I thought did a really good job. There were several breaches in that one, and they caught them all between them. So they've done very well to keep the show on the road as well, to be fair to them.
Just finally then, Dave, on the structure then of the season when it comes to the split season, do you feel it's working?
I do. From a club perspective, definitely it's great. Like I said when I was playing, you'd have a championship game in May, or maybe two. You wouldn't have anything all summer, and then all loaded in at the end of the year. And you could have a league game at literally any time of the year. We played 3 weekends in a row around November, December time on a couple of occasions, which just wasn't fair to anyone. So this is far, far better. There's no doubt about that. If I was to change one thing, I'd probably take away the league semi-finals, started either 2 weeks later, or leave a little bit more of a gap between league and championship where lads can get away. But for me, it's working very well, and it's not far off the ideal structure, really, to be honest, from a club perspective anyways. I mean, you can have arguments about whether the inter-county season should be over as early as it is and all that, but looking at it from purely a club perspective, I think it's great.
Thanks for that, Dave, and best of luck in the championship.
Cheers, Paul.
Joined by Milltown selector John Devane to look ahead to their side's championship campaign. John, how are preparations going ahead of the championship?
Not too bad now, Paul. We suppose we've the big block of training done down. It's about kind of minding bodies and getting lads on the pitch as much as we can.
How has it been involved this year with some of your ex-teammates? Obviously, Owen Godwin's taken over the team, and yourself and Darren Malahy in the background. You obviously would have worked together in Glenamaddie too.
Yeah, look, it's enjoyable. I suppose in your own club, come and ask you, it's hard to say no, really, you know. So, yeah, Owen has done a great job there. Then he just asked me and Darren, Jerry Bowen's my fourth to give him a hand. So it's 5 local lads. So it's enjoyable so far, anyhow.
How is it coaching some of the players that you would have played with?
That's grand. It's grand. You get the odd bit of chat back, sure that's expected, and sure. It's all good. It's all good. It's good crack. It's enjoyable. Wouldn't do it if we didn't enjoy it. Like, but yeah, you have Cahill, Jim, all the boys are still there, and look what they bought into us. So that was the main thing.
How do you feel the league went for you, John?
I'd say very average enough now. To be fair, we ended up in the relegation against Montpellier. We came through that all right, but we kind of ended up in the relegation. We're kind of aiming for top 4 really. One or two results didn't go our way, but look, we stayed in Division 1, which is always a good league. So look, we park that now and just have to move on to Championship.
I know obviously you had Jack Curran involved with Galway in the year, and then he obviously decided to step away. Was it a big positive then having the majority of the group together throughout the league?
It is. Look, it is. But then the flip side, would I like to be Finny and Hanley and have 6 county lads coming back? I would. So it's good to have the lads involved all the time and you can do things, but would we like to have 3 or 4 county lads come back in? Of course you would.
Just even from looking, John, at the squad overall, obviously still a fair bit of experience there. What's keeping these experienced lads going in Milltown?
Good question. I look at this, they just love football. I suppose we're a small village. 3 or 4 families, 5 families are nearly the majority of the team, the panel, so I suppose we're lucky enough we just have football, but like numbers would be low. We wouldn't have 30 lads training, you could go down there some nights, it could be 16 or the like could be 10, you just don't know, but just enjoy it. I suppose it's enjoy it.
Obviously you're talking about that experience, but it's obviously going to be a big positive then next year when you have 2 Galway minors to come into the ranks.
Well, geez, I'm only thinking about the next 6 weeks anyway, next year. Yeah, Dara and Andrew are 2 good lads, so like majority of our runners all playing C football, so if we can get 1, 2 lads through to the senior panel every year, that's it's huge for us and that's what keeps us going.
Looking at the group then, obviously Kervin, Letchermore, Monavea Abbey, what are you expecting in that group?
Tough group. Letchermore probably the informed team in the county outside the big 4. I think it was Morris Brosnan that was on this a few weeks ago. He sees them as the bolters from the pack, and they're very good. 2 Shogas, Oisin Fimitunic, Matthias Barrett is back now, Cassie O'Kelly, Sean Andy is back. That's going to be a tough battle. I'd experienced them last year in Ganamaddie. They're very well set up. I think Alan Murphy is there now, so he'd know a lot about Milltown with him throughout last year. So look, it'll be a tight game. Corofin, and just there who they are, and then Monavea, Bunt, and Mike Farr involved there. I know them very well, be friendly enough with them, and they won't fear Milltown yet. So look, it's a tough group, but that's what you expect in senior championship. 16 teams now. There's no easy games. What
do you feel is the aim for Milltown this year?
To be as competitive as you can in every game. And there's no point in saying anything else. Look, everyone's going to say they're going to get out of the group. Of course, we're going to get out of the group. That's the aim. And just be very competitive, get the best out of ourselves in every game, and and see where it takes us. Look, results take care of themselves. Just be extremely competitive.
Yeah, I know. And overall, I suppose looking at the split season and the structure of the season, John, how have you found it this year?
Yeah, it's grand. I think it was Dave Donnan there that left Michaels. I tend to agree with him to push out the league maybe 2 or 3 weeks later. But I suppose when a dual county with Hurling, it'll be hard enough to do that. But yeah, we're probably playing championship bit here now, unfortunately, due to Galway getting knocked out. And so I find it good. I think the players enjoy it. They can book their holidays. They know when they're playing. It wasn't like when we played 2 years ago, you had first round to be in March, and we never game in September then. So look, it's a lot better for the players, definitely.
And just that nature then at every 2 weeks, do you think? I think it can be the prelim and the last game. We have that back-to-back usually those 2 weeks, but the nature of every 2 weeks, how do you find that? I suppose.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Look, you play your game on Saturday, Sunday. You're back training on Tuesday. Probably you can only train reasonably hard once that week. Probably doing another session the following weekend for the team coming up, and then you're rolling in. So it rolls off fairly quick, And so with Glen last year as well, found it good. Players liked it. The new rules now, I think it'll make it very interesting. But one thing I'll say about the new rules, you could see at the inter-county, it started off in the league. You had wind and rain. I think Galway played, was it Donegal? And you know, the elements had a huge factor in it. But I can see teams that get deep into the championship, kickouts, 2-pointers, the elements are going to play a huge part in it.
Has it been a challenge at all, John, with the new rules on the coaching side of things? Has that been a challenge, trying to do different things?
Look, you're obviously you're watching teams, you're trying to come up with ideas. You know, I like them. I definitely get rid of the 2 points were free. Can't understand that. Kickouts is huge depth, you know, kickouts, retention and kickouts. If you go short, you have to be spot on, both kicker and receiver. So, look, there's going to be some serious games this club championship due to the new rules, and I think it'll be enjoyable for both players and spectators.
Great stuff, John. Thanks a million for that, and best of luck in the championship.
Take it easy. Thanks.